So thanks, folks, for joining us for another Vintage Legends. I'm here with Alan and Dan from A Thousand Cuts. So thank you very
Hey,
much for joining us this evening.
you're
So you
welcome.
guys are down in Stoke and Trent, aren't you?
Yeah, sunny
Yeah,
Stoke.
yeah.
Yes.
You you will have to forgive us if at any point me and Alan end up just going into some total accent binge that you can't understand. And this is for you, Dan, and for anyone that's obviously anyone who's
I'll
listening to
do
this,
it.
a fellow
Yeah, but
Glaswegian. So you're all knackered. Listen, thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Tell us what kind of music do you guys play? Tell us more about it.
so we've been told. So at first, when somebody asked us that, we generally didn't have an answer to it. But we've been told we sound like a mix of kind of 90s era metal, take your pick, Machine Head, Pantera, whatever, with grunge thrown in there, and then hardcore, like not hardcore as in dance music, hardcore as in like sick of it all, but hate breed, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
the intention was never to go in and say we are going to be this type of band or be that type of band. It was like, let's go into the studio, let's jam out a few songs, and whatever happens, happens. If we like it, great. If not, we can change direction.
yeah,
And it so happened that we liked what we were playing, so we kind of stuck with it.
it's pretty cool. It's a more earnest way of doing things rather than going so, not to say closed-minded, but so confined and like, right, this is what we're going to do. Like I'm not really feeling that tough.
yeah,
It doesn't normally bring good output that way. So fair play to you.
Yeah,
And
and we're the same when it comes to actually songwriting as well. We're happy to bring in ideas. If they work, then great, we'll run with them. If they don't, we'll just ditch them and move on because there's no point in wasting time trying to force something to work that ultimately people just don't particularly like. So it's just kind of been the kind of philosophy the whole
yeah,
way through.
yeah, it's
The
quite
way we
right.
work.
That's the thing. You sometimes think of some ideas that I don't know. Like, there'll be some ideas and you think maybe we could just have this on repeat for like 2.5 minutes, and that's probably the only thing you can ever do with that riff because you don't know what the hell else to do with it. Sounds good. No, fair play. Vintage wise though, like I know you guys are, both right into the brand. How did you, kind of stumble upon them in the first instance?
so, yeah. So I'm the reason that Alan knows about him.
Okay, you're
So
doing.
when I was younger, basically, you got a Kerrang TV on or whatever like that. And I remember
Yeah.
seeing the video for The Darkness, I believe, in a thing called Love. And in that video, he's got the white Gibson Les Paul with the gold hardware and the black pick guard. And I always thought at the back of my mind, oh, it'd be really cool to own one of them. And then, I don't know, it was like 2017 or something. I was wandering around the shopping centre near where we are. I walked past a music shop and I saw this vintage one, the V100 one, this one.
Nice.
And I saw this in the window, and I thought that looks a lot like what I wanted when I was younger. And I thought, and the price point was good on it as well. At the time, felt like a bit of a steal. I had a go of it, and even without an amp plugged in, it had so much sustain on it. And I bought it, and then it became my go-to gigging guitar in my old bands. For basically every gig I did, I was just playing this. And
Okay.
then I don't know. When we started, I was bringing it to like practices and gigs and stuff, and I kept singing its praises, saying like. And I'm not saying this because it's called the Vintage Legends thing or anything like that, but it's never let me down really as a guitar. Like I've had other guitars I've used live, other brands that have, I've had issues here and there, but this one has never let me down. So I always thought it's a brand to keep my eye on. And then I've got a couple of other guitars this side of me. So I've got this is the V100, and then I've also got the V100, the MP one. It's
I'm always so tempted by those. They just look so good with
yeah,
like an
yeah.
electro top.
And this one's brilliant. When I saw this advertised on the website, I thought, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" But then I kept sort of putting off not buying it because you're trying to justify a purchase to yourself. You're like, I don't need another one, but I want it though. And then
Guitars though. It's
saw
guitars. There's
someone selling this.
never so much as enough.
Yeah, I saw someone selling this on Facebook Marketplace near where we are. So I thought that's a good price. I'm going to go for it. And it's another brilliant guitar. The only thing I've done to it is I've added one of those string
Ah, string
butlers to
butlers.
the headstock. And yeah, brilliant one. And then there's only one more, honestly. And then I bought this one a few months ago, and it's
Ah, nice.
the what is it, V6M24,
Yeah.
just in Daytona yellow, which I just love how sort of 80s hair metal it looks. Or it's like an obnoxiously bright yellow, and I just love it. And the reverse headstock too.
Yeah, it's
So
awesome.
yeah, my introduction was just spotting it in a shop window, but just remembering, the Darkness music video when I was younger, and then I've never really looked back, to be honest. So
Do you know, and that's the thing, if you can buy something that you're satisfied with for that difference in price, then it would probably be for something like a Gibson
I
Les
was
Paul
basically
Custom
a
or something like
vintage spokesman basically for years because I kept saying how good my white one was, and people were like saying, "I've never heard of that brand," and then I'd play the gig, and they were like, "That sounds ace," and I'm like, "I know it does. I've told you it does."
that's awesome. And Ali, what have you got there? What are you hiding?
Well, before Dan got the second two that he just showed you, I didn't want to get a white one, even though I love the white one. It's absolutely beautiful. I thought we'd go for the kind of negative of each other, so I went with the black, the V100 BB. And what really surprised me about this was the weight of it. I've played other Les Pauls, the Epiphones, and even a Harley Benton, and the weight in them was absolutely terrible. But the weight in this
Brickmakers.
is absolutely perfect. And just the same as Dan says, the pickup, you don't have to do anything with the pickups. It sounds great as it is. The only thing I've really done in this is replace the pick guard with a mirror pick guard so that whenever we're up on stage and we're hitting the big time, I can do that thing that you see Steve Harris's bass doing of Iron
No,
Maiden when the light hits it and it just shines out a beam of light.
blind you.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So there's that. I replaced the pickup surrounds from the cream or ivory, whichever colour it is they use, with black, and it just makes the pickups look as though they're floating a little bit. And then there is the custom selector switch surround
Yeah,
with the that stays on the chug chug setting.
nice.
And I'll be polite about the other setting since it's a family show.
We
But
can't close up that, I'm afraid.
one of the one of the one of the other guitars I've always wanted was the AFD. Slash is a great guitarist, and it just so happened when I was keeping my eye out for one appeared in my local music shop as a trade-in.
Nice.
The P100 AFD, absolutely beautiful. This is from 2012. If I read the date code
Yeah, I
right,
was gonna say that's a slightly earlier model because it's a kind of lighter color rather than like
yeah.
a slightly darker yellowed.
The neck profile in this is phenomenal. It's not thin, but it's not too chunky either. It's just right in the middle.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. And again, on this, nothing's been done to it. Everything's stock. Um, no, haven't even added any stickers because I love the
I'm sure
finish
that
of
will change at some point.
maybe eventually.
Nah, it's nice in a flame top though, isn't it?
I
Flame top,
do,
fair
I
play.
do, I do usually add a decal to the back end because I like Star Wars in case you haven't noticed. And this is the from the Mandalorian. So yeah, and since picking these up, I've played them pretty much exclusively. We've been recording our studio album with these.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, they're workhorses. They're meant to be played, and they play very very well.
That's awesome. And I know we kind of talked a little before we came on here about Pro Shop stuff, and I didn't even mention I've got another one that's in the works at the moment, a kind of VS6, kind of SG kind of style one. Um, Wait till you see it when it's done. But if you guys, were to get your own kind of pro shop models, what do you think you would go for?
So I've thought about this before, and I always thought the same. Like I never really used the net pickup, so I think I'd go for some kind of single humbucker. I never use the tone knob either. So
Right,
get
okay.
rid of it. So one volume, one pickup. Like I've seen there was like an SG and SG, sorry, a Les Paul shaped one, and it was like natural wood, but it was like like a sunburst effect where you go from dark to clear in the middle. Um, it's I think it was a Gibson model or something like that, but we don't want to talk about other brands on this, do we?
No, listen, you can reference all you like. That's all
Yeah,
good,
so
you know.
I can't remember. It's like the Les Paul CM or CT or something like that. Or I'd essentially go for like the same thing as like the V6 M24, the yellow one I've got, and just do that single pickup kind of thing. Or like because you mentioned SG as well, I remember seeing there's a Harley Benton model they discontinued, and it was like a powder blue SG with a black pick guard and gold hardware. And that powder blue with the gold hardware, I was just like, wow, that looks ace. And
I
like,
remember seeing
I
that
don't
before
know
as
much
well.
for SG guitars usually, but that looked really nice. So maybe I'd even try and do something like
Yeah, I remember seeing that before. Credit where credit's due. That looked good.
that. Yeah,
You
I think it's
know,
called like the deluxe or something, wasn't it? Or
do you know? I think as well. I know we're all the three of us like big into like rock and metal and grunge and all sorts of stuff. Like, I would really, really, really love to see some kind of Jerry Cantrell-esque tribute, just mentioning like a single pickup sort of thing, maybe like a Floyd or something like that. Like the kind of G&L type things
yeah, yeah.
it has, something like that. What were you, Ali? What do you think you would have?
I think I'd be a bit more traditional. I'd be happy for another V100, but uh, green is my favourite colour.
Okay.
Um, and I've seen an Ibanez RG that's got a green sparkle finish on it, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
So I would have it finished in a green sparkle.
That sounds pretty
Um,
cool. Have you seen the anniversary series VS6?
yeah, you'll never guess what I've got in order.
I tell you,
Yeah, I've got the
amazing.
V100 Green Burst on order.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I think is it June they are due to drop?
Yeah,
Something
it's
like
next month, around about the 20th, I think. So
that.
June 20th, 21st, something like that.
Counting the
Um,
seconds then.
I'm not sure I'm counting down the days, but I am.
He's off the looks like a prison wall when you're counting the days. I'm like,
Oh, listen, I'll tell you, end of February when I was down visiting folks down at head office, just taking a pop in sort of thing. Um, I had the pleasure of seeing them all in the flesh. You're not going to be disappointed. It
I,
looks
I,
unbelievable.
I've seen. Well, I know some people that have been to the guitar shows when Vintage have been there and they've had them on display, and I've said, pick me one up. Doesn't matter how much it costs. Just pick me one up. I'll send you the money. But no, nobody. I've not been to a guitar show yet where I've seen them. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, honestly, the thing with the green sparkle they do as well is that I tried to take a little video on my phone and just put a few things online with this little, kind of sparkle, just moving the camera a bit or moving the guitar a bit sort of thing. Nothing does it justice. Just it ain't shit on it when you see it, like unbelievable. And I think I do believe it was a suggestion put forward by Mick Crone that they did that finish, so I know for a fact that he will be getting one as well. But honestly, they're amazing.
Yeah,
And
as I understand it, they're limiting the number that they do. I think it's like 50 of each model.
60 of each, yeah.
Is it 60?
Yeah. So I imagine they're going to go pretty quick. But
Well, I was when I went into the guitar shop here, I was surprised I was able to order one. I thought they'd have flown off the shelf, but they're getting it ordered in especially for me.
that's awesome. It's good as well. You get to just like go and have this thing you actually get to pick up because as much as it's as much as it's quite good to be able to order some things online, you do have that additional trepidation of, like how bashed is the box,
Yeah.
how good are the contents?
My yellow one when it arrived, I'm not gonna. Should I name and shame the courier? I don't know. But anyway, it arrived, and when he dropped it off, he was in. Obviously, there's like an inner cardboard box that he sits in, and then like a big outer one that's filled with your polystyrene packing stuff. And I said to him, I said, "Is there any reason why there's a boot print on it?" It's like somebody just gone like bang like that
Jeez.
right in the middle of the thing. I was like, I said, "You stay in here while I open it." I mean, luckily it was just like there was no damage to it or anything like that. But yeah, you always worry about things with
Yeah.
couriers. You don't know
It's
what they do.
honestly, it's so much better. The stuff that they send out from JHS is so much. It's so good the fact that they have that extra, kind of protection, that extra kind of packaging. Because, like I said, there was one I had showed up where I was just like, everything's fine, thank goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of a nervous moment. Music wise, what have you guys got lined up? Because I know you also mentioned recording. I know you guys have been out gigging at the weekend there. What's happening on the horizon for you guys?
So we've got all the instruments done, bar one bass track for the album that we put out, or whenever we're recording, we haven't put the album out yet. I'm getting too excited. Um, and
It's the whole
we
point.
need to do, just need to do vocals next, basically. That's the big one for me because I'm the singer, main singer anyway. So, but then we've got a live album out. We didn't even know we were being recorded for that. So when we got sent the files to, we were like, oh,
That's
okay, let's
cool.
have a listen back to them. We're like, oh, this sounds all right, actually. Yeah, should we release it? Yeah, I'll do it. So then we've been gigging. I mean, I don't know when this podcast, whatever's going to go out on the internet, but we have this Saturday. Is it the 26th of Saturday? 24th?
24th.
As of the 24th of May, we're playing a Metal to the Masses gig in Stoke. Where you win a chance to play Bloodstock Festival and stuff. We don't know if we're going to win or not, but we're just playing it because at least you're guaranteed an audience. So,
Yeah, that's cool though.
and then,
You
yeah,
got to get involved with these things.
we've basically got a gig pretty much every month till the end of the year, by like November, I think.
Yeah, no, November's been a quiet one for us. We were trying to get a couple of gigs up in Scotland, because
That's cool.
I've not played a gig with this band in Scotland yet, and I want to get home and play a gig.
Well, better
Um,
excuse.
we were in contact with Bannerman's through in Edinburgh, but
Okay.
they don't have any dates just there. So we're reaching out to a few other places around to see if we can maybe get something. But if it's not this year, it will definitely be next year.
You tried to Clutha
No, no, but I don't know what the
or
uh, what
McSorley's?
what the kind of rock and metal nights are like in there. It's been a long time since I've been away, and Mixolus was always a bit small, if memory serves, with the band.
It's a small venue, but definitely I'd say definitely worth a shout as well
Yeah,
for that
it'd be good
for your sort of stuff.
if we could hook up with another band, another local band. Um, we'd be quite happy to support them just so that they bring a crowd, so that we've actually got somebody to play to. Because obviously with yourself playing in bands, how many gigs have you played with you played to the other bands and the bar staff?
Yeah, it's not great going a bit. So this is the danger sometimes you're going a bit further afield.
Yeah, well
When you're trying to get
that's why
established.
that's why we're try to hook up with some other local bands that have got that at least know a few people.
Yeah, no, that's probably we can probably chat offline about this as well. So that's what I can
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
Be awesome. And do you know? Forgive us. Do you know if you got an idea when you're going to get some next kind of lot of music released? Do you reckon? Any idea?
Well, it's good. It'll be the album.
I'm hoping, in the next 2 or 3 months, to be fair. I mean, I don't want it to be that long, but it's just with, how everyone's life is,
Day
Alex or
jobs.
bass player works away in the week sometimes, and then we've got gigs happening, and then we're all working too. So it was originally going
Yeah.
to be like, we'll do the first couple of months of this year, we'll record the album, and then we'll release it. And then it's like, here we are, nearly in June. We've only just finished like the instruments.
I know that's the thing, and it's just when everyone else is doing other things, and it's not your kind of main day job sort of thing. It's just life can get in the way of some things. But listen, it's good that you're chipping at it, and it'll come, and obviously we'll be able to share things. Well, listen, let me say thank you guys for joining us tonight. I really do appreciate it. It's a nice sunny evening here, so I'm going to let you guys go and chill, and I'll get cracking at editing, and we'll catch up soon.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Graham. Been a
Cheers,
pleasure.
guys.
Nice to meet you, man.